Good morning. Another day headed to class. Okay, I'm all up in this camera today. All right, so I'm getting head to class right now. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit. I am going to do a little chat discussing night shift nursing. Okay. As you guys are aware, I am an LPN right now, and I am bridging to the RN program, and that is what my whole nursing blog is about, basically. I can't get this camera straight. Okay. So, and that's what my whole nursing blog is about. Now, there are some really bad cons to being a night shift nurse. Now, one of the major cons that I would say about being a night shift nurse is sleep problems. Okay, so I'm going to discuss something really quick. I was supposed to work, I have worked since last Friday. Friday, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Saturday, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Sunday, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Monday, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then Tuesday, I was supposed to be off, but we were short nurses, so I decided to go into work. And I told them I would do 4 hours, so I did 7 to 11. Okay. On Monday morning, when I came back from work, I couldn't sleep. So I basically stayed up the entire day, and I was trying to do some studying, trying to do a little bit of schoolwork, but not really getting too much of anything done. I had to work on my patient, my client database. That's what they call them. They're basically care plans, but they call them client databases right now. Okay, so I was going to work on my client database a little bit, because I wasn't able to sleep, and I figured if I was going into work from 7 to 11 p.m. I would be working that whole entire time. I wouldn't really have any time to stop and try to work on a client database, or not stop and try to work on a client database, but like go on lunch or something and work on a client database. Okay, so I was like, let me get what I can get done while I'm woke. So I did that. Then I cooked dinner. And then after I cooked dinner, I laid down from 4:30 to 5:30, and I literally slept 1 hour. I woke up and it was actually 5:30. So I got up and got dressed, and I usually try to leave my house around 5:45, 5:50, so I can get to work on time. Which I did, and I made it to work on time. Okay, so then when I got off last night, I left the building about 11:30. I had to get gas, and then I drove home. And I sat there working on my clinical database or client database again for a little while, but I just felt like I was not sleepy. I felt tired, like my body felt tired, but I didn't feel sleepy. So it's always the juggle of when to take your nighttime sleep aid, because I have a nighttime, like an over-the-counter nighttime sleep aid that I usually will take if I'm feeling like I'm not going to go to sleep. It's always a juggle, because I knew I had to be to class today on time, and so I was like, I don't want to take the nighttime sleep aid and oversleep and miss class. So, which I have, once you get to sleep and you get some good sleep, you will oversleep. So, I didn't want to take the nighttime sleep aid and oversleep and miss class. So I said, I'm just gonna lay here and try to fall asleep. So I laid there for a couple hours, from 2 something until 4 p.m. And 4 a.m. And that wasn't working. So I got up and took a shower. That didn't work. So I said, you know what? It is time for me to finish up this clinical database. It is due today, so I have to do what I can. So I'm just going to do that just in case I do feel tired again. So I did the clinical database, made some breakfast, and all in all, I have not been to sleep. So that is one of the major cons of nursing school. I'm not nursing school, of working night shift. You kind of lose your sleep pattern. You don't have the same sleep pattern. What I normally do is when I get some off days, I usually try to go right back to a normal sleep pattern. I will stay up the day I get off. I will attempt to stay up the day I get off, and then go to sleep at night like normal people do. And usually usually that works, but sometimes you get into a groove where you work for a lot of days in a row, and then your body's back to that nighttime sleep pattern, and it's not ready to go to sleep at nighttime. So basically that's what happened. So I have not been asleep for that many hours. I'm running on 1 hour of sleep, and I guess probably almost a 48-hour period at this point. So of course I do have a cup of coffee with me. I had a nice full breakfast this morning. I had a sausage, some Texas toast, and some eggs. So I had a nice full breakfast. Hopefully later tonight I'll probably get a workout in. If I don't crash, I might crash. Who knows? After class today, during class today, I could literally crash. I don't know. I'm going to try and be positive about it. But the other part is night shift nursing. Night shift nursing is not meant for a person who is trying to advance their career. I think night shift nursing is perfect for when you're trying to get acclimated to your career. The pace is not as fast. You know, it's a slower pace, slower environment. You don't have people breathing down your neck. You don't have 1,000 people asking you questions all day. You can actually focus on your work and a little bit more focus on your patients. Now, I work in a long-term care environment, so it's difficult to focus on the amount of patients you have anyway. Like the other day was really funny because when we went to clinicals, we were like in an acute care facility, like a hospital almost environment, and the nurses had 4 to 5 patients. In a long-term care environment, you have anywhere from 20 to 25 patients, 30 patients, and at nighttime sometimes, if your facility is short or if your facility just runs that way, you can have 50 to 60 patients on your own. I mean, not that you'll necessarily be dosing 50 to 60 patients, you know, a night, but not after 11, of course. I mean, you will 7 to 11, but most of the time you're not going to get the whole hall from 7 to 11. Most likely you'll end up with the whole hall after that point. At 11 p.m. you'll end up with the whole hall. When everyone's supposed to be in bed, you'll end up with the whole hall, and then you'll dose them again at 5:30 to 6 a.m. in the morning, and then you'll probably have, out of your 50, 60 patients, you may have to dose 30. That's just the honest truth. Once you've known your patients for a long time and you get their medications down, it's easier to dose them. Once you know how, because this is the thing with long-term care facility patients, not every patient is going to respond the same way. Some people you have to cajole, some people you just shake them a little bit, they wake up, they take their pill, and they drink their water, and they're ready to go back to sleep. Some people you have to like, hey, hello, I'm here, you know, and remind them, and they're like, oh, not today. And then you have to be like, oh, but I'm trying to give you your medicine. Please take your medicine for me, Miss So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so. Please, thank you. So honestly, you have to get to know your patients. One time I was working at this facility, and it was the hall that I was working on, the patients were more Alzheimer demented. And I'm telling you, fighting to get people to take medications, please, and you know, crush it, put in applesauce, all that kind of stuff. It's such a job. You have to know the patient, and you know what? One patient might not take something for you, but soon as Susie Q walks over, they open their mouth up wide open and take it for that person. They get used to the nurse that they have, whether you're a good nurse or not. That's just how they are. So don't take it personally. Just keep working with them, and if you're there and you're a constant, they'll get to know you, they'll like you, and it'll be easier for you to give them their meds. Night shift nursing. What else can I say about night shift nursing? Get used to being short-staffed. Most of the time, the people who are night shift nurses, we are a rare breed. Not everyone wants to work at night, so you may be short-staffed. Very, very many people like to work in the daytime and keep normal hours. People also know that working at night really kind of ruins your sleep pattern and your schedule, and you're partying and you're hanging out with friends and all that kind of good stuff. So most people are not willing to do night shift nursing. So get used to being short-staffed. Let's see what else is there I can tell you guys about night shift nursing. You'll have fun because it is a nicer, quieter environment. You and your other nurse pals and your CNAs and stuff like that, y'all get to know each other a little bit better. Y'all working together all the time, and y'all don't have anybody to rely on but each other for the most part. So you will form a stronger bond. The group is smaller and more tight-knit. In the daytime, there are 2 nurses on one hall that I work on, 2 nurses on the other hall, and then there's about 8 CNAs. At nighttime, there's 2 nurses possibly, and 3 to 4 CNAs. And some days, on a bad day, 2 CNAs. So you have a tighter knit group. Y'all will get to know each other. Y'all will rely on each other. If you're a night shift nurse, please do not be the type of nurse who only wants to do her nursing duties. If you're a night shift nurse, you will do CNA duties. You will do all the duties that are required for your patients, because a lot of times your CNAs are overworked and overtired as well, and they need your assistance. Please be there to assist them. You know, I can't stand when a nurse will say, that's not my job, and and don't even attempt to assist a CNA. It's such a sad thing. A lot of times, the nurse will answer the call light. It'll be just a moment. Your CNA will be right there, and it's something simple as, can you give me a cup of ice? Can you pull a blanket up on me? Can you turn the light out? It's simple things. Get up, answer your call light, be there for your people, and don't worry about whose job it is. Like I was telling this one girl, we was having a discussion, because you find in long-term care facilities a lot of times that people don't want to do the job. It's a hard job, especially for CNAs. I find that it's harder for CNAs, I think, than nurses, because it's a hard job cleaning people up and keeping them clean, and changing them and turning them every 2 hours and all that kind of stuff. It's a very hard job. It's difficult. So you find a lot of people who don't want to do it and who cannot maintain their sweet composure. Okay, so what I'm saying is that if you do not want to do this job, please go, because what you don't understand is that this is not like a person who is going to a grocery store and you're a horrible cashier. You're a horrible cashier. I'm gonna go to another store. No, this is where they live. You're a horrible nurse. You're a horrible CNA. They have nowhere else to go. All they can do is tolerate you, or suffer you in silence sometimes, which is a sad thing. It is a sad thing. Long-term care is something that I feel very passionately about. Not everyone does. It's one of those really hard things for people to do. But I feel very passionately about long-term care, probably because I had a really tight relationship with my grandmother, and I felt like I lost her too soon. And she lived so far away from me. She was in the north, I was in the south. So, I would only see her every summer, and then after I turned like 11 years old, I didn't even go up there every summer anymore. So it was, I missed her, and we kept in contact through phone calls and stuff like that. But, I just really wish I could have spent more time with my grandmother. For some reason, the bond between us, I just felt it so strong and so deep. And so whenever I go into my long-term care facility, I'm greeting all of my grandmothers and all of my grandfathers, and that's how I feel about them. and I try to do my absolute best to take care of my grandparents. That's how I feel. Like, this is my chance to take care of my grandparents again. So I think that you really have to develop a passion for it. If you don't have a passion for it, if you cannot stomach it, if you cannot stomach the people, if you cannot give them the time that they require, you need to find something else to do. The truth is that a lot of times your long-term care residents will be a lot of work on you. It will be hard on you, but you have to understand, these are people who have lived a whole new life. A whole life. They have gone from childhood, to grown up to an adult, and now you're there taking care of them. And a lot of times they feel inept. They're sad that they can no longer care for themselves the way they used to, and to you it turns into resentment against you. So they might be a little bit persnickety with you and do this way and do this that way, but that's how they're used to the way they used to do it. So you just do your best to do it, the best way you can. When you're in there for your 10 minutes, give them those 10 minutes. If that's what you have, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, whatever it is, just think about it. It's only a few minutes of your life, but it's hours and days of their life that they have until their ending. So be compassionate and be caring. And I know that is not really night shift information, but it just brought it up because I work in a long-term care facility and I do night shift in a long-term care facility. They can be the sweetest, most loving people you have ever met. I can't tell you how many people says, "Come on, sweetie, let's go to bed," and they really expect you to go get in the bed with them, and cuddle you up just like you were their granddaughter, or they always want to give you your hugs and your kisses and stuff like that. So, be sweet to them. They deserve it. They've lived a long, hard life. If you feel like your life is long and hard right now, think about it. They've already been doing that for 70, 80, 60 years, and you're only in your 20s or 30s. So imagine what it's been like, for them. So I will vlog again after class today, and I am going to do my third attempt at taking a school ID picture. Because every time I take one, I hate it. They're so ugly. That voice was kind of crazy. But anyway, they're so ugly. So I'm going to try and attempt to take another school ID picture today. I'm supposed to be hurrying up and getting to class because I'm supposed to turn in my clinical data to one teacher before I go to lecture for the other teacher. So I'm supposed to be trying to get there on time. But you guys know me. I'm always running late. If for some reason, that is just my thing. It is warm in my car. I have the heater on because I am one of those kind of people that is always cold. And mind you, it is June 1st. And we only have class one day this week. I should mention that, I guess, because this is my LPN to RN vlog. We only have class one day this week. We're having class Wednesday because we were out for Memorial Day. We don't have class on Tuesdays, and we don't have class on Thursdays unless we're having clinicals that week. So then I think clinicals are Wednesdays and Thursdays. And I will be working again this week on Thursday and Friday, and I will get a weekend off. Not really super happy about getting a weekend off because I tell you, your differential makes a difference. So I will not be getting any weekend differential this week. And I think that next week all I have to work is Saturday, so I will only get Saturday weekend differential. I have not been able to get put on both Saturdays yet, but hopefully by July or by the next semester I can get Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's what I'm looking to do. I would like to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and if I had to work on Sunday, do a 3 to 11, so that I can basically stay pretty much full-time and also do well in school. I'm trying to give myself a fighting chance, which I have to tell you, I had to tell myself, no, Jasmine, you will not take any more extra hours. No more extra hours until you are either on a break from school or you have completed school, because extra hours are there. You take those extra hours and next thing you know, you don't have enough time for what you're supposed to be doing in school. Oh my God, I wanted to get to school in enough time to get another parking pass, because I got a ticket on my husband's car the other day and I was like, I'm not paying that. So if I don't, I might get a ticket on my car today. Who knows? Those people will probably be out hot and heavy, because, you know, the new semester started and now the security guards be riding around and giving people tickets on their cars for not having their student parking pass. I have one, I just don't know where I put it. I need to put it up in my car because I'm not supposed to be parking in the student parking lot without a parking pass. But I didn't leave early enough to go get a new one. I don't feel like going to get a new one. So what I'm going to do is look really quickly in my car and see if I have my old parking pass, and then I am going to go to class. So you guys have a great day.